Hello everyone, my name is Valerie Ramoon and this is my presentation. Do you ever wonder about what type of impact you have upon others? Do you ever wonder if you are influencing or affecting a person's life in a negative or positive way? What makes a person forgettable? These are questions that are always rummaging through my mind. It has been my experience that many people come and go in our lives for a multitude of reasons. Many people are in our lives to teach us an important lesson, regardless if their stay is short or long-lived. Interactions with the people around us keep us on our toes and ultimately define who we are. Our relationships with the people around us shape our experiences and who we are as human beings, which ultimately define our leadership legacy. Today, I'm going to present the message of a book that defines a leadership legacy. I will do this by providing a brief summary of the book. I will interpret what the book teaches about leadership, and lastly, I will provide a critical analysis and evaluation of the book's content. The book is titled Your Leadership Legacy, and it is written by Marta Brooks, Julie Stark, and Sarah Cabberhill. First, I will start by providing a brief summary of the book, and I will also give you a little background information about the authors. Your Leadership Legacy recounts the story of a man named Doug Roman who embarked upon a journey to discover his leadership legacy. Doug was raised by his aunt named Nan, who was a founder and CEO of Mooseland Stoneware. His aunt passed away unexpectedly, which meant that Doug would be taking her place in the company, or so he thought. During the reading of Nan's will during a board meeting, Doug learns that he must take a journey in order to learn what his Nan defined a leadership legacy. Before Doug could be named the CEO of the company, it is crucial that Doug understand the importance of being a leader. He must understand all aspects of his leadership legacy journey. Through his journey, Doug meets many inspirational people who are imperative in guiding him through his journey and realizing what it will take for him to reach his full potential. Throughout his journey, Doug learns 3 basic foundations on which leadership legacy is based. In the end, Doug realizes that he still has a long road to travel, but during his journey he will discover the true meaning and destiny of the legacy that he is to have. Doug learns that every passing moment is used to make a difference in the lives of others. He learns that in order to make the world a better place, it is going to be due to the decisions that he makes when he interacts with others. This book is written by Marta Brooks, Julie Stark, and Sarah Cabberhill. The authors are all consulting firms. The 3 women work as leadership consultants for the Ken Blanchard companies. Many of these women have had different leadership and management experiences that have shaped the way they help run the business. Marta Brooks, for example, is a highly respected and experienced management consultant as well as a powerful trainer and motivational speaker. Julie Stark has more than 10 years of experience consulting to organizations in retail, manufacturing, and public education. And lastly, Sarah Cabberhill has successfully fused over 20 years of experience in sales, management, and human resources. This book was written to advocate a message about the importance of discovering one's leadership legacy, which is based on the idea that the legacy you live is the legacy that you leave. This book is intended for people who want to gain a better understanding of their role in life. It is also intended for those who want to gain a deeper and more personal insight into leadership. Now that we know what the background of the book contains, it is important to understand what the story teaches us about leadership. Leadership legacy is defined as the sum total of the difference you make in people's lives, directly and indirectly, formally and informally. This book is based on 3 principles, and it teaches us to 1. Dare to be a person, not a position. 2, dare to connect with people. And 3, dare to drive the dream. The first principle, dare to be a person, not a position, is about being honest. It's about demonstrating respect for people at all levels. It's about doing what you say you're going to do. This principle outlines the fact that it is important to stay down to earth and not let a leadership position make others feel inferior. Principle is about daring to connect with people, and this basically says that you should use your words and your stories to draw other people in, that you should get to know the people that you're working with. You know, a working relationship doesn't have to strictly be a working relationship. Closer bonds can be formed when you get to know a little bit about the people around you. You know, it's all about asking people questions and in order to explore their motivations. You know, if you make a point to talk one-on-one with a person that you're leading, you're going to learn a lot about that person, and you're going to learn more effective ways to work with that person. You know, it's all about listening intently, and it's about, you know, pointing out individual people's strengths out to them. You know, it's about lifting people up, and it's about, you know, using every moment that you can to make a difference. And lastly, the third principle is dare to drive the dream. It's about being committed to your goal, about being committed to whatever dream or aspirations you may have. It's about helping people see the outcome of their own dreams. This book can teach us that great leadership skills have very little to do with what's on our resumes or what kind of professional background that we have. It's not about whether or not we can command a room or whether or not we possess certain leadership traits that can qualify us as leaders. It's about making bonds and connections with other people. It's about doing what you can to drive other people. It's about the passion and persistence that you have behind your work. You know, the only way that leadership is effective is if you do whatever you can to make sure that you are daring to be a person, not a position, if you are connecting with people, and if you dare to drive the dream. Lastly, I will provide a critical analysis and evaluation of the book's content. I believe this book, Your Leadership Legacy, is a great story that drives from personal experiences rather than just textbook facts about what effective leadership entails. The information in the book confirmed everything I learned in class over the course of the summer session. I learned about leadership from a different perspective, and it really opened my eyes to different leadership styles. When I began this course, I defined leadership as a list of exemplary traits, but I realize now that being a good leader is not solely about the traits that one possesses, but being an effective leader involves many different aspects. In the book, Doug kept a relationship journal in order to document his experiences and track his growth. In this class, we were required to keep a journal, and I understand now how keeping a journal is beneficial to discovering one's growth and leadership legacy. The information presented in both the class and the book taught me that leadership has little to do with professional background or personality traits. Leadership is about making genuine connections with the people around you, having passion and persistence, and it's our experiences that shape who we are. This book was surprisingly a really easy read. I enjoyed that the book was more of a personal narrative because personal stories are usually easier to understand, partly because they're relatable and they're a lot easier to follow. The strengths of this book were that the lessons to be learned were highlighted multiple times throughout the book. And Doug's journey was very easy to follow, but I also would have liked to see more elaboration within the stories and more elaboration when Doug's interactions with people were described. I would definitely recommend this book to anyone who wants to hear a short story about creating and defining a leadership legacy. I would recommend it to college students and people early in their careers because it defines a foundation with 3 principles that are essential in good leadership. I selected this book to read because it's a personal narrative, and I personally enjoy reading stories about a person's journey because it teaches me a lesson in a different way than a textbook can. I like to learn things from a different perspective because it helps me to draw conclusion about my own life experiences. Overall, the book was very effective in describing the leadership legacy. Our relationships with the people around us shape our experiences and who we are as human beings, which ultimately defines our leadership legacy. Today, I presented the message of a book that defines a leadership legacy. I provided a brief summary of the book, interpreted the book's message, and I provided a critical analysis and evaluation of the book's content. I hope that you all enjoyed this presentation. I also hope that it encouraged you all to dig a little deeper to uncover your own leadership legacy. Let us not forget that interactions that we have with the people around us will keep us on our toes and will ultimately help define who we are.